DDO Players News is brought to you by the Table of Ultimate Gaming Kickstarter. Are you looking for a new gaming table? How about a table you can customize to your specifications? You are in the final days, though. The campaign is running down. You are on the fence. You might want to jump in now. You have 2 days. 2 days, folks. The clock is ticking. Don't miss your chance to get a great gaming table at a wonderful price. The Kickstarter will end on Thursday, September the 28th at 11:05 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So don't wait. The clock is ticking to get in on the Table of Ultimate Gaming Kickstarter. Just head over to our show notes for the complete URL to the Kickstarter.
Good day, everyone. This is Pilot Mules, and welcome to DDO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in DDO and on the tabletop. And please welcome my co-host from Ravenloft, Dracula.
Hey now, everybody. How's it going?
Everything is going fine over here. How are things going over at the castle?
Not too bad at all. And hello to Ninth Pond and Gumsgang, who's in the chat room. So, hey, thanks for joining us.
Then let's head into our plethora of news that we have today.
Yeah, exactly. We've got nothing tonight, folks. Nothing.
We do have a chronicle.
Well, yes, we do. We can always count. Well, I guess I can't say that because sometimes the Chronicle's not even here. So we can mostly count on the Chronicle. So we'll at least have something DDO-wise to talk about. Yeah, issue number 251 is out, and it features a drow on the cover again.
Yes, I'm trying to think. Is that one of the drow from the new dungeon, or is she trying to dance?
It looks like one of them from the new quest.
Yes.
I couldn't tell you exactly which quest it is, but yes. Something tells me we're going to be getting drows in the new quest for a while until, I don't know, a certain loft is about, maybe? I'm trying to be vague, finally. In the community spotlight of our Chronicle this week, we have Ozzy Plays. That is a new DDO gameplay series up on YouTube, and that is showing a First Life build. So check out Ozzy Plays.
A First Life build?
I know. It's exciting, isn't it? It's like, wow, somebody that actually plays like we play is actually doing a YouTube series. It's amazing. I actually haven't got a chance to check it out yet, so I'm going to have to watch that. But yes, that is Ozzy Plays. And then Chipotle 47 is celebrating a marriage that began because of DDO.
Ooh.
It's actually a pretty cool thread. I kind of glanced through the thread over in the forums. You can read the whole thing if you click on the link in the Chronicle. But yeah, it pretty much was they met in game, and then they started talking outside of game, and then now they're married. So kind of one of those stories that you would care about if you actually had a heart, which I don't. So
Oh, it looks like Ozzy already has 15 episodes out.
Wow, really?
And that's in a month's time.
And of course, Ninth Pond is chiming in. You know what? There are second lives? Wow, the things you learn about DDO. Smiley face. Don't try to troll us, Ninth. No those allowed in the chat room. It's okay. We'll let you slide this one time. We got a shout out for the post I put up celebrating 34 years of the DDO, or D&D cartoon. Wasn't a DDO cartoon, it was a D&D cartoon. So that would have been cool if it would have been a DDO cartoon 34 years ago, because DDO did exist. That would have blown some people's minds.
Yes. We look into the future.
Exactly. And then Jotmon is celebrating a Reaper 10 completion of the Tower of Frost.
Wow.
Reaper 10, Tower of Frost. Like I told you before the show, I just say congratulations to anybody that completes anything on Reaper 10. So that's like amazing. So there you go. It is being done. People are running Reaper 10 and they're winning, finally.
And they're winning. I presume he's not doing this with the First Life, though.
I highly, highly doubt that. I'll have to go and look in the thread, but no, something tells me he's got several under his belt, I think.
Especially when I'm looking at how many bars this guy, he's got 16 bars of skills.
I would just get so confused. I wouldn't know where to click, what was up, what was down. Wow. I would be so confused with that many bars on my screen.
Oh, boy.
But, then we got our fan site news section. DDO Cast is delving into being free-to-play versus premium versus VIP. So click over and listen to that episode of DDO Cast. Some dude named Drac was joining the damsels, so you can watch over and see me die several times over because it was all their fault. They set me up to die. It's all their fault. It's always the damsel's fault. But I keep going back on the show. What does that say about me?
You're a glutton for punishment?
Apparently so. And Mickey is looking back on years of rating. And Bachelor Gore, of course, is playing DDO. So click over and watch his latest episodes. And he does stream a lot of the times during the week. And he also streams on the official DDO channel. So check out Bachelor Gore and all his DDO videos. And of course, we have our Chronicle comment as always. The question this week is, if you had to haunt someplace in DDO, where would you haunt?
If I had to haunt someplace?
So you've died, you're a ghost, you've come back as a ghost, you're going to haunt someplace. Where in DDO are you going to haunt?
Well, I think the person who most deserves to be haunted would be Zugatmoy.
For you? Yes, it would.
So therefore, I will haunt Zugatmoy's chamber.
Okay, that would really freak some people out. And
Especially considering that's the most likely place where I would have gotten killed in the first place.
True, that is very true. Repeatedly, if you listen to the show in the past. And Gumsgang in the chat is saying, Alexia's Haven Resort Spa. I have my reasons. See, I was just thinking of this in a real trolly way. I know this sounds mean, but I think it would be so fun. I want to go haunt the beach on Korthos Island. I want to stand. I want to stand right behind Jeets. So when a new player comes in, the first thing they're going to see is Jeets and then some ghost behind Jeets. That's really going to mess with new players' minds. I know it sounds mad or evil. It's really evil, but I think that would be so fun.
Something that only a vampire will come up with.
Probably yes. Or a GM that likes to kill his parties. Either way.
Right.
And then we have our official screenshot of the week. And Mickey D's feels like he's being watched in the 334th DDO screenshot of the week. And I can see why he's feeling like he's being watched. Because
it looks like a lot of people chose this location to haunt.
Yes, they have. Yes, Mickey D's, you are being watched. You're not feeling like it. You are. Look behind you.
Look behind.
Ninth Pond is answering now. He's saying the grotto. Don't believe that protection death spell. It's a lie. See, I wasn't even that mean.
Oh.
I was mean, but not that mean.
Who is this Salimus anyway?
That's right.
Let's then head into the store sales. And what's on sale this week?
We have 25% off crafting essences, crafting XP and success boosters, and collection crates, all at 25% off. The free sample of the week is a free Lesser Treasure Hunter's Elixir when you use the coupon code LTHEMOR. Lethmore? Another weak code this week, well, but I get it. It stands for Lesser Treasure Hunter's Elixir More, I guess.
Well, that more has to do with the running joke with the Mordor expansion and all that stuff. I'm sure we'll see a lot of Rav ones
yeah,
in
probably.
a couple of months.
Probably.
Then let's head into what's coming in from the dungeon. And you have a review of the dice from the Tomb of Annihilation?
Yes, we do. These were announced at the same time the Tomb of Annihilation was announced. And WotC sent me over when they sent the Tomb of Annihilation book over, which we'll be talking about in a second. Spoiler alert. And they sent the dice over, and overall,
What?
I'm not that impressed. Well, Okay, let me rephrase this. The dice themselves are nice.
Okay.
They're a nice set of dice. They have a nice weight to them. They roll well. That part's fine. The part that, in my opinion, was a total fail on WotC's part was if you had seen any of the advertisements that WotC has been putting out for these, it made it seem like the metal tin they come in was like a nice neon green color, and it made it seem like the dice were like a darker green color, which kind of makes sense because they're going with a Tomb of Annihilation, and like green is kind of a color choice for Tomb of Annihilation. So they looked awesome in the advertisements, and then once you get them, they're nothing like what they look like in their advertisements. So they really photoshopped the heck out of their advertisements for these things.
Mm-hmm.
I did put a video up if you actually want to see them, and I have pictures of them as well. They're not bad. Like I said, the dice themselves are nice. I'm just not impressed with the colors. They're kind of like a real olive type green. And then another weird thing they did is like the D20 is like some kind of lighter green that doesn't even match the others, so I don't get that either. But colors aside, dice are nice weight to them. They're really easy to read. I really like that. Once you roll them, you can look down and see the numbers. They're in nice big white letters on the numbers. The font they use is really nice and easy to read. So overall, they're okay. You can get them on Amazon for like $17.95. I don't know if I would pay $17.95 for them or not. They're a decent set of dice, but I would probably go with another set of dice. But the tin is nice. It has the green screaming face on it, which you'll see a lot in the Tomb of Horrors and the Temple of not Temple of Bellamy. I'm sorry, the Tomb of Horrors and the Tomb of Annihilation. Get my tombs right, and. So that's kind of cool. The tin's nice. The foam's nice. The dice are just okay. I was kind of disappointed in them, actually.
Very well. What are your opinions of the module itself?
But yes, Tomb of Annihilation itself is amazing. It is very awesome. I did do a semi-spoiler-free review of it. If you actually want to read the full review of it, it's up on the site. There's a couple spots where I spoiled some small things, but I did warn you before I did. Overall, it is a great throwback to dungeon crawls of yore, and they really, you can tell that they were really going for an old school dungeon crawl feel, especially as you're crawling your way through the jungles of Chult. That is done by hex style moves, which you haven't seen in D&D for a while. This is the first time they've used hex moves in 5e, and that just really took me back to like Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, maybe 2nd edition. And then the tomb itself is like a great throwback to the Tomb of Horrors. It's a little different. If you think you know Tomb of Horrors, you think you know what you're going to run into,
You're dead.
You are dead. They have changed some things, but you can see it is a nice nod back to Tomb of Horrors. The overall story is amazing. Of course, everybody by now knows what the story is, but there is a death curse that has befallen, and it is working on anybody that has ever been raised from the dead. The victims are slowly rotting away, and all efforts to reverse the decay has failed. The souls of the dead are being stolen one by one and are being trapped inside a necromantic artifact. So it's up to you to find out who's behind it, where the artifact is, and destroy it and stop the death curse. So that's what you have to remember if you're running this adventure. If you are going into this adventure with characters that you have played before, and if your characters have ever died before and have been raised and brought back, they are going to lose hit points each day, because you are going to be affected by the death curse as well. So that's something to keep in mind if you're going to use characters that have previously died before.
Wonderful.
Another thing to keep in mind is if you're going through this adventure and you die, you are dead. There is no coming back. You cannot be raised because the death curse is stopping all resurrection. Because as soon as you die, your soul is stolen. So
that's a nasty place.
It is. It is.
And considering the death count at the Tomb of Horrors.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
So beware of that.
Oh,
this
boy.
is hardcore. I mean, this is not for the faint of heart. This is, like I said, old school AD&D, save or die type stuff. So there's no coming back.
Oh, right. And I see that one of the things you were mentioning you took back because you're saying, what? Please give us a PDF. And what?
Yeah, I did. It was kind of funny when I had put the review up. There is in the back of the book, and this, as I said in the review, happened in Curse of Strahd, and it happened in Storm King's Thunder as well. There are nice handouts at the back of the book for your players. Some of them are maps, some of them are like letters that they can receive. It's all great that they include those in the book, but then you have to like photocopy the book, and then they usually don't ever come out right. And I'm like, Watsy, just give us PDFs of these. And lo and behold, like a day and a half after I put this review up, there's PDFs on Watsy's websites for the handouts now. So okay. one of my negatives on the book is actually not a negative anymore because they have fixed it.
Okay, that's good. Now, I guess handouts are something that really fits Tomb of Annihilation, because I do remember in the original Tomb of Horrors, you did have this set of handouts for showing the various things that you encounter at the tomb.
Right, and that's kind of what some of these are. One of them is a map. A lot of them are before you leave the port city of, I'm going to say Nanzaru. I don't know exactly how you pronounce it. I've heard it pronounced different ways, but Ninzaru, I've heard it pronounced. Anyway, before you leave the port city, you can actually hire a guide to help you through the jungle, and each one of those guides will have advertisements that they give you, and you can hand out the advertisements for the guides, and then the players can pick which guide they want to use. So it's kind of neat. And then, of course, once you're in the tomb, there's some puzzles and stuff that they have to solve, and there's some handouts for those. So, yes, those handouts are now available, which I linked in the review. So thank you for that. There's a couple other small little nitpicks I had about the book. The biggest one I have, I don't think at this point it is a spoiler. If you have been following Tomb of Annihilation at all, you do know who the big bad is. If you don't, let me give you a spoiler warning for about a minute and a half here. Okay, so spoiler warning is on now. The big bad in this is a Serac, which of course is the Lich from Tomb of Horrors.
Or Demi-Lich, or is this a...
Well...
Is this the Demi-Lich, or was this... Oh, I get names confused, because I know the Demi-Lich I thought was the big bad, and so is this a promotion to the old pre-boss?
Your guess is as good as mine, because they don't explain it, because in Tomb of Horrors, he was a Demi-Lich, and now all of a sudden he is a Arch-Lich.
Okay, that's right. You mentioned that last week. Now,
which doesn't make sense, because technically Arch-Liches are good Liches. I'm confused at why they made him an Arch-Lich and why they don't explain it. So it's just weird. And then I kind of wish he would have taunted with the players a little more. As I said in the review, kind of like I wish he would have acted like kind of how like Strahd does in Curse Strahd. Strahd kind of, sends some minions out and kind of toys with the players a little bit. I kind of wish he would have done that. A Serac pretty much doesn't show up until the end when you're in the tomb. So that was kind of, again, minor nitpick. Overall, I love this adventure. I can't wait to actually start running this adventure. It is a great throwback to the Tomb of Horrors, and it reminded me so much of, like, first edition, second edition, like, old school, back when you could actually die in D&D. So it's great. I love it. And it is available now at your friendly local game store. Also, all online retailers. Amazon has it. Barnes & Noble has it. Basically, anywhere you can buy D&D books, more than likely they're going to have Tomb of Annihilation. And big thanks to Watsy for sending that and the set of dice over for our review.
Very well, then. Let's then head on to what's coming in on the tabletop, and we'll begin with a little something to drink.
I was waiting all week. When I put this story up, I'm like, I can't wait to see what Ponleaf has to say about this. Yes, there's a game up on Kickstarter that is called Conquer, the Ultimate Drinking Game. So what do you get when you mix a drinking game with Risk?
Oh, you're kidding me.
This is what you get. This is Risk, but there's a drinking game thrown on top of it. What you're trying to do is you're trying to conquer the world and take over most of the map, a la how you do in Risk. But there is a little extra in it. You can take shots. There is something called the Shot Shop. And what you are going to have to do is you can purchase bonuses in exchange for shots. Of course, in this case, I should say, shots being a drink. So if you want to place a troop, you have to take one shot. If you want to move your troops, that is also one shot.
Oh, so you're saying you want to do something, you mean anything that will progress you in the entire game?
Yes, you have to drink.
Oh, good grief.
And then they have what's called a shield shot and a shield breaker. And a shield breaker is you take 3 shots, and then you will put, after you get done with your shot, you will take your shot glass and you'll put it over a set of armies that you want to protect. And then if they get shot, the shield will break the shot and they actually won't get shot. But where it comes...
Oh, boy, that's got to be a confusing word.
And as Gump Gang is saying, what could possibly go wrong here? That's what you got to keep in mind. The more you buy at the shot shop, the more you're drinking. So keep in mind your tolerance for alcohol, because by the end, you might not know what's going on and you might be doing the bad stuff and you're going to lose the game because you don't have your wits about you. So it's kind of a game of attrition in more ways than one. So yes, conquer the ultimate drinking game. Oh yes, up on Kickstarter now. Currently, as of this recording, not doing so well. They're only at 1% of their goal, and they have 21 days to go.
Okay.
Nightbot in the chat is saying, "Sweet, so I can get smashed and march on Canada in some activity. Sign me up." And then Gumps King saying, "Okay, I get it. You win by doing nothing and waiting for the other players to pass out. I think you figured out the secret to the game, Gumps."
Well, that's sort of like in Risk, where you hunker down in Australia.
Yeah, exactly. So basically this is Risk with the drinking is what this is.
Yeah, what you're risking is your liver.
Exactly. $30 will get you, I'm sorry, $40 will get you a copy of the game.
I presume the drinks are not included.
Drinks are not included, that's right. But they give you nice shot glasses, though.
Yes, but if you drink out of the shot glasses and then use them to cover up armies, then you'll get stuff all over them.
Everything is waterproof, finally.
Yes, waterproof, but are they alcohol-proof?
Well, okay, maybe they should have said they were alcohol-proof. Well, I guess they said they're spill-proof, so.
Okay.
So there you have it. Drinking Risk, people.
Yeah. Let's see what's on the screen. Dungeons & Dragons Tales from Candlekeep, Tomb of Annihilation gameplay teaser video. That is a mouthful.
That is a big mouthful, and I'm impressed that you actually got through it. Yes, at the time I released this, we actually had an exclusive on this gameplay video. I had this up for 48 hours before any other site had this.
Wow.
Which I thought that was cool of Become Studios to allow me to do that. This was the first time... other than they had one live stream up before they had this trailer up. This was the first time people actually got gameplay from the game, so you actually kind of could see how it worked.
But they had 2 live streams since then.
Yes, they have. Yes, and I watched one of them. So yes.
Yes.
So if you want to get a little teaser of how gameplay works, they don't show a lot in the video, but it's enough to where you can kind of get a grasp. I would recommend, and I will link over in the show notes, the videos of the 2 live streams I did, because they played the game for about an hour each stream, and you really got to see that, and they kind of talked about some more of the mechanics of the game. But it's looking good, and I'm getting more excited the more I see about this. The more this game is looking pretty amazing, and we'll be out soon. October is what they told us, so...
Yes, probably early-ish October is what they are hoping for.
fastly approaching.
Yes, I would say, let's put a guess of about 2 weeks.
I would probably say that is right on. I would say, let's see, what is today? Is the 25th as we record this. So yeah, I'm going to say about 2 weeks would be just about right.
All right, and then once you do that, then you too could become annihilated.
Yes, that's right. And Gumsgang is asking, he wonders if it'll have solo play. Yes, it is only solo at this point. You are controlling all 4 of the characters. You start out only controlling 2, and then you will unlock the other 2, and then eventually, once you get those unlocked, you can take all 4 of them into each adventure, and you will control all 4 of them as you're playing through. Yes. They did say multiplayer mode is something they really want to do. It's something they're going to look at, but right now they are concentrating on the solo play first.
Yeah, I know one person was asking about would they have legendary figures such as Drist and Ilminster. I'm thinking, okay, the odds of them having Ilminster as a character, I think, are pretty low. But Drist, if they ever do modules for the various other D&D games,
right, they would have to have Drist.
Yeah, they have to have Drist.
That would be a no-brainer, yeah.
Yeah, because could you imagine trying to do the Legend of Drist without Drist?
That would be pretty amazing, actually. I'd kind of like to see how they would do that.
Maybe we don't want to see how they would do that.
That's true. That's true. So, yep, that is Tales from Candlekeep, Tomb of Annihilation, which is coming to Steam soon-ish.
Soonish, yes. Then let's head in and look into our week in gaming. And Draculetto, what have you been up to?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Real life just crept up and slapped me upside the face several times, and then kicked me down, and then kicked me when I was down, and then picked me back up and slapped me across the face again. So yeah.
Did it drive a stake in your heart too?
Almost. It didn't quite get to that point, but it was pretty darn close.
Right.
Yeah, the actual only gaming time I had this week for anything was what I did with you on Wednesday, so we'll let you talk about that.
Well, what'd you talk about, since that's...
Sure.
Yeah.
I could do that since that was the only thing that I did. I guess that would make sense. We are still in Evening Star, so we did Murder by Night, so we got to kill all those werewolves. Then we decided to go into the riddle and kill a bunch of hags. And for some reason, I don't know if it's I just don't ever remember, but I don't think I've ever done that quest before.
Oh, the riddle?
Yeah, because I had told you on Wednesday, I'm like, well, let's go do this quest because I don't know what it is, and I don't remember it. So if I did it, it did not make a lasting impression on me. Because, like, Murder by Night, I remember I've done that, like, countless numbers of times. And, like, most of the other Evening Star quests, I've done countless numbers of times. But the riddle, I don't ever remember doing. It was a fun quest, but, yeah. And then we jumped into the Tracker's Track. Did not finish that one because we were, I don't know, probably halfway through, maybe, you think?
I'm not too sure we're quite that far through, but yeah, we were getting warmed up, so to speak.
Going good. Things were going good. We're running down through there, and all of a sudden, I'm sitting here in the dark, and my computer's not turned on anymore. And I'm like, well, that's odd. And then I'm like, and then it dawned on me, it's like, oh, hey, my power just went out. And then it came back on, and I'm like, cool. But then it went back out, and then it stayed off. So, yeah. And as I told you as we were talking on the pre-show, I don't know why the power went out because it wasn't storming here. It was a nice night. There was nothing going on. I guess the power company just decided we're going to shut everybody's power down for a little bit. Why not? It's a nice night to have no power, I guess.
Well, maybe they were doing something. Well, it was night, so it doesn't sound like where they would be doing any non-emergency work on the local.
I wouldn't think at
houses.
that time of the night because that was like 9:30. So
You're right. They'd only do emergency work at that time of the night.
Yeah, so it was. I don't know, but anyway. So yeah, so we didn't get to finish that. So I suppose we'll hop in there and do that one again on Wednesday, and then continue on in Evening Stars. That is where we are questing.
Then also, what I worked on was my Dragonborn Artificer, who was level 2 this week, and I did Korthos Island, which means Redemption, Necromancer's Doom, stopping the Sawajin, Sacrifices, and of course, Misery's Peak. where, of course, at the end of that, I reached level 3, so therefore now I'm a level 3 artificer, ready to do the wonderful quests within the harbor, and I managed to finish all of the rare encounters and find all the discovery points, which isn't always a given when I do Korthos Island. I've been known to skip some of those, and sometimes the rares are not in a good mood to show up.
Yeah, I usually have that on the very rare occasion I do Korthos. A lot of the times, it's usually the spider is the one that usually will never pop for me.
Yeah.
But, RNG and all that.
Oh, yes, RNG and all that stuff. But
can't forget the dreaded RNG.
Then in Minecraft, I finally finished an annoyingly long tunnel. This was the north tunnel out of our nether hub, where I felt like that every time I got to where the endpoint was, it turns out somebody else founded another base beyond that. So I was, all right, build this next one. Okay. Oh, another one. All right. And so I finally got to the last one, going out to some 130 chunks out in the nether. So this person has a base way out there when you consider the 8-to-1 ratio with nether coordinates. And I'm just happy I finally got that thing done. And of course, it's all about dodging those gas who are trying to blast you as you're trying to do all this. The joys. The joys of tunnel build. The joys of the nether. That's all I got to say on that one. And I started on another tunnel, and I was just getting to the end of the floor where I decided to do the floor, then the ceiling and all this stuff, because this particular tunnel is in a lot better shape than the long one I was just working on. And I managed to get all the way to the end on the floor there, where it's just right at the end, ready to place the last one, where I, popped over thing, put on the, and boom, there apparently was a hole in the floor that I didn't see, and I just fell straight down into the nether, and said, just say, feather fall for the win.
Nice.
And I'm pretty sure if I didn't have feather falling boots, I would have been squashed there. And I managed to miss a lava lake by about 3 blocks. So I found the only island in this vast ocean of lava.
That's awesome.
So I managed to do that, and eventually I was wondering what to do, so I panicked a little bit, tried to look around, seeing if I could find a way back up or something like this. But eventually someone said, oh, why don't you just pillar up from where you landed? Yeah, maybe that'll work. Especially since when you consider that I couldn't be afraid of getting killed by falling off while pillaring up, when you consider that I survived the fall in the first place. And therefore, after that, I decided to work on a spider spawner that I had found. Now, I'm working on this, my rendition of the Temple of Elemental Evil.
Yes, that's what you had said you were, that was your big project in Minecraft.
Right. And I had moved the entrances, because right now in the original one, the 2 entrances are near the south, but not quite the southernmost corridor. And what I did is I decided to move my entrances down slightly, and the reason for that is because the dimensions of my upper temple were too small in order to work it the way they have it in the module. So I moved it down slightly and used those southern 2 tunnels room complexes and turned those into my entrance area. And what I did is I added an extra turn on the left, because if I turn right from where I go on one of the sides, it goes into the main dungeon. And on the left side, I put a path down to a spider spawner I found. And I decided that the spider spawner is where they're fighting a little bit of a war, because I'm not using spawners in the ordinary sense, because usually people take spawners and they turn them into farms that have massive number of things so you can have easy kills and the like. I'm not doing that because, I remember I turned my zombie spawner into a chamber of ordeals. And on this, I decided that this is a focal point where Loth is attacking the temple.
Oh, nice.
So therefore, I go into this room, and the spiders are spawning all over the place, and they are coming in to attack because Loth is sending her minions into it, and I'm there to try to defend it. So therefore, I have these full-strength spiders I'm trying to fight. Now, fortunately, I do have a beacon. It's the spawner's within range of a protection beacon that I have upstairs. So it's not like I'm totally defenseless against these spiders, but I'm hoping to maybe learn a little bit to improve my combat and like when I go down there every once in a while and try to fight those spiders and see how long I can survive. And maybe we could thumb our nose at Loth at the process.
Which is not a very smart idea.
Yeah. And I'd say I'm about a third of the way through the first level right now.
Wow. So how long do you think it's going to take you to build it?
I don't know. Probably the entire season. And
Wow.
I figure the season's going to be probably for at least another 6 months.
Holy crap, really? Wow.
Yeah, it's going to take a while in order to do this because I'm sure it's going to take me a while to build the Earth Temple. And I do have to decide what to do in certain situations where in the original module, they have things intact, while in DDO, they decided, well, this was a rather difficult thing to get through here, so we're just going to have this path destroyed. Because they do that a couple of times in the DDO version.
Yeah, I was going to ask you now, are you basing this on the pen and paper module or DDO, or are you kind of doing a combination of both?
I think it's going to be more of a combination because there are points in there where I am going to avoid a lot of the diagonal tunnels that they have in the original module because they tend to square them off in the DDO version.
Okay, all right.
So I will probably generally be doing a lot of squaring off on them because diagonals in Minecraft aren't exactly the greatest companions in the world. And then on the tabletop, I have been running a game called Twin Stars, which is a series of small little gamelets, and they had recently have something called Adventure Series 1, which includes the first 6 Twin Stars adventures. And I ran through the first 3 of those and got squashed in each of them. So that's a little tricky on that side. But it's I guess you call it a mini game. I think it was $10 for a pack of 6 adventures.
Oh, well, that's not too bad then.
Yeah. We currently have 22 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to help support DDO players, simply go to the donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you'll find rewards, including a mention on the podcast of your choice, or you'd be a guest with us for an episode of DDO Players News. We have this week 2 featured comments. And what did Sarah say?
Sarah left a comment on the D&D cartoon post I put up. She said, I always feel sad about the fate of those brave kids when I see them in Fear Factory. I'm glad I'm putting them out of their misery of being undead, but it seems unfair that they never got home. And after helping all the residents of D&D, of the D&D world, they end up just undead monsters. Frowny face. But then again, maybe I think too much.
I thought you said that they didn't have an ending to that.
They don't. She's talking about how they're in DDO. There's a Easter egg where you will fight all them as zombies.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right. Now I understand what you mean. Yes, that is a nasty fate for them. And Mocha Taskmaster on Tales of Candlekeep, Tomb of Annihilation gameplay teaser video. Swat'em! Shut up and take my money! The teaser they put up here looks like a pretty good adaptation of the Adventure System board games. They also posted a gameplay live stream on their YouTube channel. Actually, now there are 3 of them, so a couple were done since he wrote this, I presume, which did show quite a bit more, and the developers answered some questions, like multiplayer, which they said is coming. So, swat 'em!
That's right. Shut up and take my money.
All right. Yeah, I do have a feeling that as soon as this released, assuming I catch the notification, I will probably be, hello there, bling!
I will be happy to remind you to relieve you of some of your money.
Yes. Yes. If you would like to email us, you can send it to podcast at ddoplayers.com. You can also follow us at Twitter, the Players Alliance at Players Ally, DDO Players at DDO Players, Draculetta at Dracula_72, and Pineleaf at Pineleaf Needles. The Players Alliance has 4 live shows every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We have a DDO Players News. We also have every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We have a look to a Players News, and apparently XP Quest is on hiatus now.
It is. So it's DDO Players News and Lotra Players News. That is the Players Alliance live shows as of right now.
As of right now. If you'd like to join us for these shows, you go to ddoplayers.com/live. And DDO Players News is brought to you by Table of Ultimate Gaming Kickstarter. If you need a new gaming table, how about one that you can customize to your specifications? The campaign is in its final days, and if you're on the fence about jumping on, now is the time to act. You have 2 days as of this recording, just 2 days, and about 1 day after we post this. So the clock is ticking. Don't miss your chance to get a great gaming table at a wonderful price. Kickstarter ends on Thursday, September 28th, 2017 at 11:05 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. You can see our show notes on the Kickstarter for the URL. And that is all for tonight. And this is Pineleaf Noodles reminding you to quest responsibly.